Oh, Bob, I couldn't work it out.
How are you doing, Chloe? All right?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you.
Sorry, I'm late. I don't actually know how to do. I've never done an Instagram live, like joint like this before.
Oh, I love that you're doing your first one with me.
I
I
know.
feel like I've not seen you in
Yeah.
so long.
I know, Bobby. I miss you so much, honestly.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're a little bit quiet, but I've got a feeling it might be my phone. One sec. Let's
Can
try
you,
that.
can you hear me?
That's a little bit better, perfect.
Sure.
So, Chloe, let's talk obviously the obvious, what's going on at the minute. How are you finding everything? This corona, this lockdown situation, the self-isolating.
Honestly, I feel like the world's ended. That's honestly how it feels. It feels like it's like a movie. It's like a supervillain has come over and put some crazy virus on us all, and the whole world has come to a stop. It's literally wild. I still don't think that it's sunk in what is actually going on here.
I think that's the thing. It feels so it's so
Surreal.
scary, and it's so unbelievable in sense of the whole queuing it, all the tape outside the supermarkets, the size of the queues,
Oh my god,
trying to get certain foods. You can't get a chicken or a toilet.
can't get any
Certain
meat.
things. I'm thinking it doesn't feel like our world, and it
No,
makes me personally realise and appreciate how lucky we had things before.
I
And I
know.
just want things to get back to normal, and whatever that normal will be. I think moving out of this, we're definitely all going to be a little bit more grateful for what we've got.
Well, that's the thing. I do sort of. There is part of me. I'm a bit of a stressor. I sort of like think about things too much, and I have thought, in the last couple of weeks, do you think that life is going to change for us now, like after this, just because life has been so different now that I feel like it might just make life after this just a little bit more different. I don't know. Like, I worry that it will make it, people get so used to being indoors, and, I miss like interaction with people, like social interaction and stuff like that. And I worry, like, oh my God, am I not going to be capable of that when this is over? Like, I've not interacted with anyone bar the same three people in 2 weeks, and it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, afterwards, what are they going to do as well? Just like flip the switch and be like, oh, you can all go out now, everything's
This, yeah,
open.
like all back to normal. You can go to restaurants, you can go to McDonald's or whatever, and
And
just
then I
live
feel
your
like there'll be
life
like a
again.
wild stampede at like in like bars,
Well,
restaurants,
I was
McDonald's.
thinking, like, it's gonna be. Can you imagine in first couple of weeks to try and get a haircut anywhere? Because everyone's gonna just be desperate to have their hair done by the end of this.
Yeah.
You won't be able to, things like that. There's gonna be such a backlog. But then this depends how long this goes on. Like, I'm just hoping it ends after this 3 weeks. But I've heard so many rumours that it will be extended.
Yeah. I've heard, I've just heard till like October. There's some rumours going around. Apparently,
What,
it
under
was in
these
the Daily
conditions?
Mail. No, it was in the Daily Mail the other day that, I mean, however much you can believe from that, but it was in the Daily Mail that they think that we might be locked down like this till June, and then just have to practice social distancing until October time. Which is
How are
just
you
really,
finding the social distancing? The distancing?
I just want to hug my friends. Like, like I just miss you all. Like, how it's just bizarre. Like, we're supposed to be obviously filming right now, aren't we? Like, we were supposed to be back to filming, and I'd miss all of you. Like, I just miss being around you all. Just, I don't know, just doing like silly things, pop into the shop. Like, it's just, it's just really, really strange. And even like yesterday, me and my boyfriend, we'd try and like do a walk every day. So we go for a little walk to get a bit of exercise. And we went for a walk, and I saw like a couple of people that I went to primary school with, and me and my boyfriend both know them. And you can't, like, it's really bizarre, like saying hello but not touching, or like, not giving someone a kiss, and just sort of from afar being like, oh hi, like shouting across the road. Even that's just really weird, and I just feel like, are we going to get so used to that we become not as much of like a touchy feely nation?
Yeah,
Like, we're so used
definitely.
to kissing each other, hugging each other, and we're going to get, if this is going to go on to September, we'll get so used to it.
Well, this is the hardest thing. I mean, you know me more than anyone. I kiss everyone
Yeah.
I'm such a kisser as a greeter. Like, I'm cuddled. So that is really weird that we can't do that. And I feel like I've really embraced the social distancing, because I kind of feel like the sooner we all do that, we can then move forward in terms of trying to contain it however we can. I obviously don't know the logistics because I'm not that pharmaceutical person that really understands it. But I know if everyone was doing their little bit, we'd have half a chance of trying to end this quicker. The more
Well,
people aren't, this is going to go on longer. And it's all very well, they're doing all the tape outside the supermarkets and there's tape at the tills. But when you're down the aisles, so many people still coming up like shoulder to shoulder, getting items next to you. And I'm thinking, well, that in itself just defeated the whole hour queue outside the shop, the
yeah,
whole rigmarole of being at the till. Like, we really, I think people still aren't taking it seriously. And I don't know, and it scares me to think what has to happen for people to realise that. Because I think in the early days, people was thinking, oh, it's just going to be a bad flu or it's going to be a really bad cold. And if you didn't have underlying health issues, there wouldn't be a problem. I think that's proven that's not the case now. People, healthy young people, are getting ill. So something needs to be done it. And if we're not all doing our bit, I don't know what chance we got. And who
no,
wants to be under these conditions any longer? And I mean, these conditions can apparently get worse. They could get to a point where you say, you're not really allowed to even have your one exercise session. And
yeah,
I'm like relying on them morning walks. They help me
that,
just clear
yeah,
my head a little bit.
yeah,
I'm personally trying not to watch too much news because I find it very it gives me a little bit anxiety, and to just know too much details. I feel like it's constantly on a loop, and great for people who want to know every single detail, but I
yeah,
can't handle it. I kind of need to keep myself busy,
no,
and that's why I'm
no,
kind of throwing myself into doing this, the isolation with the nation. And a lot of people, I think, are sat at home on PlayStations and Netflix and other games consoles and various things. And I think it gets to a point where if you're doing that for an hour here or an hour there, fine, of course, you're entertaining yourself, you're playing a game, you're still using your mind. It's when people are doing something for 9 or 10 hours a day and not interacting with people. So to me, even though it's virtual like this is still far healthier than being sat
yeah.
8 episodes
Human
into
interaction,
or
isn't it?
8 series
So,
into a show.
yeah. No, I found myself, especially in the beginning, obsessing over the news. So, every morning I'd wake up and put the news on to see what was the update, or, at 4:30 every day I'd wait for the Prime Minister to come on and give his talk, and I was obsessing over it. And I just really don't think it's good for, you know, everybody's mental health. I don't think we should, obsess over it. It's happening. We know that it's bad. Let's all do our bit, stay in. But watching too much news, reading too much news, it's not good for anyone. Like, it's scary. And I think to try and relax and get through this, it's not always the best.
And it's
The
scary, and
best thing
obviously,
to
we're
watch.
self employed, and
Oh,
that's a scary thing as well.
well, I mean, I've been watching all this stuff actually about we can like apply for things, but I just don't understand. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't get
really
I
get
don't get
it.
any of it.
I
And
mean, do we qualify? Do we fall into that category? I'm just not even really sure.
I so just want to get back, and I'm sure everyone does. So I don't mean to sound like I'm saying something stupid or selfish, because I completely appreciate everyone does. But I just want to get back into work. I want to get into my routine again, get back into filming.
Oh, and how
Um,
much are you going to appreciate filming when we get back to it?
oh, I know.
Oh, I
I
can't,
just want to
honestly.
get there, and
I never thought there would be people on our cast that I would miss, but I miss everyone. Like, I literally want to get back. And if that means getting back and having to argue with someone, I will do that if it means that we can get back to just normal, like our normal, and,
So
just life again.
what have you been doing to pass the time whilst we've been in lockdown and stuff and self isolating?
Um, I've been going for runs, trying to do some sort of exercise. Because really annoyingly, before all of this, I sort of really got into my like to fitness and stuff, and I was going to the gym every day, and then obviously this happened, and so I can't. Um, I'd stopped going to the gym, and I feel like it sort of broke my routine a bit, which is really annoying. Because the first time in my life, I really got into the gym. So I've been trying to keep up with some sort of fitness, doing like little exercises in the house as well. Or I've been reading. Let me show you my book, because I highly recommend it. This is the second one. To anyone that wants to read a good book, it's called the After series, and it's a little bit like 50 Shades of Grey. It gets a bit sexual, um, but it's really good, and I love it. So I've got a couple of them, and you can still order them online as well. So that's kept me really hooked. Um, Watching my boyfriend work, honestly, I literally watch him work while he sits at his computer every day, and that's about it. Just trying to pass time. Cooking, I love cooking. Cooking's a good thing. I feel like when it gets to dinner time every night, I get really excited because I think, oh yes, I can like cook some dinner and
Yeah.
do something and be entertained. How is it being isolated with Matt? I didn't know you were isolating together.
Yeah, so me and Matt were isolated together because we'd been to Tenerife, and then because things had
Oh, and it all hit the fan. Basically, you were in Tenerife, weren't you?
yeah, it
This.
was worse in Spain, but obviously because Tenerife falls under it. But Tenerife as a whole, there wasn't really much. There was nothing. There was nothing of it. It was absolutely fine. Um, so we was just having our lovely holiday, blah blah blah, and then Spanish laws, which obviously applied to Tenerife, meant we had to go into lockdown on the last 2 days of our holiday.
So you sat in
Now,
the room. Could you go around the pool?
whilst we was over there, so yeah, we could go around the pool and that, and we could still do everything. We just wasn't allowed to leave the complex. So I said to Matt, it's not actually that big a deal to us. We can still sunbathe. We used to go to like the adult pool on the top. We'd go up onto the roof, sunbathe, go down for our dinner, have a couple of drinks, and we never really left of an evening anyway. We'd do the same thing. We'd just go to the restaurant, have a few drinks, and then watch a little bit of like a singer or something if there was entertainment, or sit down and speak. So we got speaking to a couple of other couples, and then we would just go up to our room and just like
Yeah, it's not the end of the
sometimes
world.
put
It's quite
something on
nice
the
with
telly or
boyfriend, isn't
whatever.
it? Being
But
chilled.
it never really affected us them 2 days. But people were saying back home, like, it was FaceTiming Saf and George, and they were saying like basically it's really bad at preparing. I thought, well, when we left, I think there was about 24 cases of it in the UK, which again still weren't great, but no one was seeing it or speaking about it from what I knew to be a massive thing. Well, by the time I got back a week later, um, it was just crazy. I got off the plane, was starving, because obviously, I should say starving, there are people actually starving in the world, but I was very, very hungry. I hadn't eaten since breakfast, which was about 9 o'clock. I landed at midnight, so it's a long time not to eat. When we got to the airport, there was no restaurants open because it was then in lockdown. So no Burger King, no duty free, no nothing. So
Oh my
obviously, whatever was on that plane, people was going to buy. Because I'm tall, I always ask for the extra leg room. You know, the ones on the wing. There's like them
Yeah.
2 rows, which I think I was row 12. Well, you can imagine every single person, all three each side, so every 6 people wanted all the food. By the time they got to my row, there was literally nothing left.
Oh god.
So I was like, oh, this ain't no good. I'm like literally so hungry I could cry. So anyway, long story short, I get off the plane. I know there's a M&S there. I was like, well, I'm just going to get myself a pasta or a sandwich, something to fill the way before I drive home. I got there, just empty shelves. I thought, what on earth's happened here? Still the penny weren't dropping. The only thing they had pretty much was Percy pigs. Now,
I mean, that's not bad.
I
I
love a
don't mind
Percy
Percy.
pig. But after 14 hours of not eating, you kind of need something a little bit more than the little pink fella. And that's when I thought, well, this is a little bit, I don't know, this ain't quite what we thought we was coming back to. Again, we're known because by the time I got about 1:30, 2, went to bed, woke up, there was, my electricity weren't working, and we thought, that's odd. Then anyway, that we then found out when opening my utility cupboard, there'd been a flood. So my boiler or water tank had flooded through all the electrics, one of the parts, so the flat was unlivable. We had to have all the water turned off. Imagine trying to get a plumber. Now, bearing in mind we're now in self-isolation, then trying to get the parts for it. Wasn't able to live there because the moisture and the smell was like, do you know, like a log ride at theme parks, that algae kind of smell, that grim smell. So I can't live here. We're going to have to go and live with my mum and dad. So yeah, me and Matt have been self-isolating here with my parents. I've been
How was
self-isolating
that? I feel like
for
that's
about
quite
2 weeks
intense.
now, which is the longest we spent together. Because don't forget, we'd also had the week's holiday before that together. So
It's quite like a new relationship. I feel like it's quite. I mean, it's quite intense for any relationship. Like, but
Yeah, it has been. Do you know, we've just it's kind of works. We both do our kind of thing. And I think the key is we don't get under each other's feet. Like,
Yeah.
in the day, I'm quite good because I've so thrown myself into isolation with the nation.
Yeah, this is
I'm
brilliant, by
doing
the way, Rob.
lives.
Like, well done with this. It's so
Thank you,
nice.
darling. For me, I just want people, especially the people who do live alone, haven't got anyone to interact with, rather than them getting down or their mental health getting any worse by having any loneliness.
Yeah.
I would rather have that platform and our little online hub community to message, to jump on a chat. The community have become friends themselves, which is lovely to see.
It's so
And
nice.
I can't believe the response it's had. I think like we're nearly 11,000 followers for an account that's been up a week. And this is solely for people that are just bored or lonely at home. So for me, that's why I do my celebrity chat every night. We call it Get Gobby with Bobby. I mean, it's got to be, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I love it.
Cooking content, baking content, question and answers. We do a bit of arts and crafts.
Well, I just feel like people just need something at the moment, don't they? So it's just nice to look forward to something every evening. You're talking to someone or, putting up recipes and stuff. It's just so nice. Like, it's just it helps people keep entertained and keep positive and happy. So
Yeah. Thank you, babe. Yeah, it is a scary old time, but I just hope we get through it soon. I can't wait to get back to filming. Because we haven't filmed since like last year,
Longest
Christmas special.
yeah,
It
this
feels
is the
so
longest
long
I've
since we was
ever
all
not
in a
seen
room.
you, I think, probably.
So long since we was all in a room together. But yeah, I mean, obviously, health and safety and cast and crews is paramount. So
Even
I
that, though,
think
like when
I'm
we get
not
back to
sitting here
filming,
moaning because clearly, and not only that, as we know how TOWIE works and how TOWIE films. How could we possibly even? I've seen some suggestions go on. If it has to be small groups, can't just 2 or 3 people do each little bit? The difference is it's just not the 2 or 3 people. So say 2 of you come and sat round mine and sat on the sofa. They're forgetting that there's the camera crew, there's the production, there's lighting, there's sound, there's a runner. Like so, before you know it, you've already got 7, 8, 9, 10 people in
all just crammed in the
an
room
apartment.
behind the camera people don't usually see.
Yeah, and obviously the team that goes into even getting to that point, who will find our locations for us, and then locations as a whole. Where would we film? You can't go to a restaurant, a bar, a club, a gym.
No, it would just be
It'd just be a series at Fairlops Waters.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes I've literally filmed the whole series at Fairlock Waters before. I literally feel like every scene I've ever been in is at Fairlock Waters. But I mean, everything's come to a halt, hasn't it? Like Hollyoaks, EastEnders, all these like massive programs, like bigger than ours, have all come to a halt. So I don't know though. How is this even going to get back to normal? I just can't even.
This is the thing. And obviously, until the government guidelines say we're allowed to film, I don't know what we possibly can do. We just have to sit tight.
It's our 10th-year anniversary in August, isn't it?
October, 10th anniversary. So I'm hoping things are ready for that. I mean, I'm hoping they were all ready before then because that'd be well into the next series of the year.
Yeah.
Because if we're meant to be filming now, we've missed the Tenerife trip.
That was supposed to be a big one as well.
So I just hope we don't miss too much of this one. So I don't know. It's all just a little bit, and it is a worry, obviously. But I know so many people are in the same boat. Whether you're employed, self-employed, I think at the moment self-employed are getting a little bit more of an idea where they stand. I suppose it's easier for them because their bosses and employers would probably sort that side of things out. I don't know what.
It's like small businesses, isn't it? That's the worry.
Yeah, I don't know how self-employed people go about doing anything about it, but I'm sure you do, and I'm sure the whole cast just wants to get back as soon as this is done, and touch wood, everyone just remains healthy. And
positive. I think positivity.
Positive thinking, hoping everyone remains positive, and that we'll get back there before we know it. And we've just got to fingers cross it.
Who ever thought in our lifetimes that something like this would happen?
This is the weirdest thing because I was thinking the other day, right? It's going to sound a little bit, I don't know what it's going to sound actually, maybe a bit nuts. But do you remember like when nans and granddads would say, oh, when I was in the war or in the
About the
war
war.
days, I wonder if when we're grandparents, if we'll be this
We
generation going,
will.
well, in 20, there'll be our grandkids sat on our knee.
We'll bore our grandchildren with this.
We'll be sat there
honestly.
going, oh, in 2020 we had to wear face masks and gloves to the shops. We had to queue outside a supermarket for over an hour. We could only buy 2 of everything. We've actually now lived through something that we are going to have to tell our grandkids. And I kind of think, gosh, I mean, obviously it's nothing like the war. We've not gone out and had to kill people and fight for our lives. We've been asked to sit in on the sofa
the
and
biggest
watch
thing that's ever happened
Netflix.
in our lifetime.
But it's a strange thing when we're giving them Werther's originals, telling them,
Giving them their pocket money.
oh, I don't know. We've just got to keep hoping and praying, Chloe, that we get through it soon.
We will.
We
We
will.
will get through it, and everyone stay positive and happy. And I honestly think that the key is fresh air. Like, you know, go in your garden, go for a walk, your daily exercise. I really feel like fresh air helps.
Definitely.
And I think it is good. Like, I've seen a few people say, like, you know, it's just a pause on life. That's all this is. So use this pause to just, you know, reflect and decide where you want to go after this and stuff, and try and think.
We have to take a positive from this negative situation. And like I say, positive is if we've got a bit of time on our hands, exactly, let's get our heads sorted. Let's have some kind of decision making. Let's be productive with our time. I'm certainly getting out there. I couldn't agree more about the fresh air. Fresh air makes you feel mentally better. It gets you out of them 4 walls for an hour or whatever it is. So, Chloe, apart from all this, before I let you go, you lovely lady, what's next for Chloe Meadows? What's in the pipeline?
Well, I had something coming out that I've been working on for a long time, and I've put so much hard work into it. I've done it all on my own. But now, because of this, it's going to be postponed. Not sure. I mean, I don't think anyone's sure on like dates or when this can finally come out. I was going to release it when we started filming a couple of weeks ago, but you know, now I just don't.
So is it something that you aren't able to do at the moment due to circumstances?
Well, it's just going to be a small business, so it's me starting it up. It's me all on my own, doing it. So I just not sure if right now is the right time to, you know, to completely like let everyone know and open it all up. But yeah, it's all there. It's all ready to go. And I'm really excited about it, and it's something I'm really passionate about, and it's been a really long time coming. I've been working on it for a really, really long time.
And can you give us any clues?
I feel like I probably can. Okay, so it's jewellery. So it's jewellery. I've been
Love
working on it
that.
for a really long time. I've always loved my rings, my earrings, my ear cuffs.
Yeah, that
and
is
stuff
very
like
you,
that.
Chloe. That's very
Yeah,
you.
I love all stuff like that. So, you know, I always wanted to do it, and I always wanted to wait for the right moment and the right time. And yeah, it's probably been maybe like a year in the making now.
Yeah, because things like that don't happen overnight.
No, it's been a long time, and it's been a lot of hard work. I've honestly done it all myself. So,
Oh, congratulations, babe. That's really amazing.
so I'm really excited, but you know, it's sort of just on pause for now, on hold, and then hopefully soon.
Once this is all over, you'll have a nice launch party and we'll all come and celebrate and raise a glass.
Yeah.
Oh.
I literally can't wait. I cannot wait to go out with you all and have a drink. And just cuddle you all.
Can't wait to go to Sheesh.
Me too. Oh,
Oh, Chloe, thank you so much for doing this evening. You've been a star.
That's okay. Thank you for having me, Bob.
You're welcome. Take care. Look after yourself. Keep safe, Chloe. Love you, darling.
Well done on this,
Bye,
Bob.
babe.